Hello everybody, I am Dr. Nash Jocic, bodybuilding champion. I have competed 46 times and won 17 titles. I have been in bodybuilding world for over 40 years, and during that period I also personally advised and trained over 3,000 clients. At the same time, I managed to publish 9 books on the subject of muscle building, fat loss, bodybuilding, nutrition, lifestyle change, and all these ebooks are available on my website nashfittraining.com on the page shop. So I hope that you will find them interesting and that you will expand your knowledge, as all my videos are actually about giving you another dimension, another point of view. So my idea is to actually widen your horizons when it comes to nutrition and training, and actually that way help you to progress even further to achieve your goals. Now, thank you very much for responding fantastically to my previous few videos that I talk about nutrition. And a lot of people ask me about breakfast and what is the best breakfast for fat loss and muscle building. So I don't know if you have watched my other videos, but one of my old videos is actually showing the breakfast that I was preparing and eating in, I think it was around 2004 or 5. But I can tell you that in last at least 30 years, I have been eating the same breakfast every morning. Now, as you know, my views are not conventional. My views are not necessarily always politically correct. And I'm in a way glad that that is the way, because very, very often I get people who come back to me and say, oh, you have said that you don't eat this in the morning and you eat that, but everybody else is doing that. So, well, I always say, it's entirely up to you. You have to try and you find out what works for you. In many occasions, people have come back and said, oh, you know, I tried your idea about the best breakfast for fat loss and muscle building, and I was delighted that actually it works, and it works very well. So this is why I decided to do another video and explain to you this time a little bit more in detail why I believe that the breakfast that I've been eating last 30 years is actually the best breakfast for fat loss and muscle building at the same time. Yes, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. This is physiologically absolutely ideal and perfect and possible, and there is nothing on the way that stands apart from ignorance and lack of knowledge. When people say, oh, you can't build muscle and burn fat at the same time. Of course you can. Of course you can. When you increase your muscle tissue, for example, percentage of your muscle mass, you will automatically decrease the body fat level if the body fat stays the same. So if you were, let's say, 15% body fat, and then you increased your muscle mass during the proper workouts, let's say for 20 pounds, then that percentage of 15% body fat will drop down immediately, maybe to 10 or 11 or 9, and you will look very different. So you actually lost fat percentage-wise while you were building new muscle. Also, muscle tissue is known to be metabolically the most expensive tissue, meaning it requires a lot of calories simply to maintain itself, and therefore, by building more muscle, you will burn fat at the same time. Now, let's focus on the breakfast, because this is the main meal of the day, simply because of the fact that you have been starving for 8 hours during the sleep. So you didn't have much protein in your body, and your body was most likely using a lot of protein from your muscles in order to satisfy the necessary needs for essential organs and tissues. And therefore, obviously, understand that muscles are your storage of amino acids, and they are not necessarily the most important tissue in the body. So when the body needs amino acids to rebuild your liver, for example, or lungs or guts, the body will always use protein, hence amino acids, from less important tissues, like, for example, muscle. Therefore, the first thing in the morning that you need to do is actually to supply the highest quality protein that you can give to your body. Now, When I said the best fat loss breakfast, I mean the following. During the night, you will, obviously you're still alive and you need energy to continue with all these countless number of chemical processes that are going on in the body. So therefore your metabolism is going on and on and on constantly 24/7, even during the night. So for that purpose, you were using calories exclusively from fat. You can't use calories from muscle glycogen, right? And if you want to continue to lose fat throughout the morning, for example, the best thing you can do is not to eat carbohydrates. So not to supply the alternative source of energy, which is glucose via carbohydrates. So if you do not eat carbohydrates in the morning, you will continue burning fat because your metabolism is going to go up in the morning. Obviously, you're active, you are reading, maybe filming YouTube videos or writing something or just shopping or walking around or doing your work. And your metabolism will start going up, so you will need more calories. So those calories will continue to be used from your fat stores unless you eat carbohydrates. If you eat carbohydrates in the morning, you will stop fat burning process in an instant. So this breakfast that I'm going to talk about now is actually eggs and cottage cheese. So I hope you follow this video until the end, because there will be a lot of information about the combination of these two, and also about the alternative, and also about vitamin and mineral content in eggs, cottage cheese, and the alternative to cottage cheese that I prefer to be salmon. So as you can see in the video, my old videos, I was always doing eggs and cottage cheese in the morning. So right now, and probably in the last 10-15 years, I've been doing 5 eggs in the morning and about 200 grams of cottage cheese. So this is my traditional breakfast. Okay, so 5 eggs, 5 whole eggs, and 200 grams of cottage cheese, and nothing else. So that doesn't mean that you should do 5 eggs and 200 grams of cottage cheese. If you're bigger than me, I'm about 100 kgs lean, and this is something that actually gives me everything I need. But if you're bigger than me, you can have 6-7 eggs. If you're smaller, less body weight, or less active than me, you should maybe stick to 3 or 4 eggs, whole eggs per day for breakfast. But I also want to mention that when I competed, for example, I would go for 4 or 5 whole eggs and also extra maybe 10 egg whites. So you can also add egg whites if you need more protein. The combinations are clearly allowed. I'm not writing this in stone that you have to eat 5 eggs and 200 grams of cottage cheese. I'm just giving you my example, but the principle is the same. So whole eggs and cottage cheese. So why is this breakfast so effective? First of all, it gives you complete protein. Eggs contain 9 essential amino acids, and this makes protein from eggs a perfect ingredient for muscle repair and muscle growth, right? Now, eggs are also very high in leucine, which is the most important amino acids when it comes to protein synthesis, right? And especially when you are in catabolic state after waking up. So leucine is the key amino acids that you need, and it's really abundant in high presence in eggs. So this is what makes eggs so powerful, because the protein in eggs is second to none. On the list of my list of superfoods and super high quality protein that I advise for muscle growth, eggs are always on the first place. Also, eggs contain healthy fats. And that means that eggs contain cholesterol, which is absolutely necessary for the production of testosterone. So if you're a natural bodybuilder, I mean, you should not avoid eggs, because they will provide the cholesterol necessary for building your helping you to produce more testosterone. Also, eggs are very low in carbs. There are no carbs in eggs, and this is what makes them fat-burning food. So as you can see, the macronutrients in eggs are absolutely phenomenal. So there is no comparison to eggs. Now, when it comes to cottage cheese, it's important to understand that cottage cheese is slow digesting protein because it contains casein, which is the protein, milk protein that we digest slowly. So this will provide you steady amino acid release, and this is perfect for muscle for reducing muscle breakdown. Cottage cheese is also very low in carbs. There are no carbs in cottage cheese, minimal. And I would not advise to go for fat-free cottage cheese, but just go for normal one because it's not more than 4 or 5 grams of 3 to 5 grams of fat per 100 grams. So that's fine. Also, cottage cheese is very rich in calcium, which helps regulate fat metabolism and support bone density. So the combination of these two foods works perfectly because, first of all, it gives you very high amount of protein and for muscle preservation and fat burning, and also is low in carbohydrates, which means that you will be improving constantly your insulin sensitivity, and you will be accelerating fat utilization. So you will burn more fat when you eat a low carb meal. Also, this is very satisfying meal, and it will keep you going for another 3 or 5 hours. The satiety will be fine. It will be quite high. Now, if you are a bigger person, full of muscles, if you're metabolically much higher than other people, you will probably need to eat. You will get hungry in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. You will feel that you need more food. If you are somebody who is not of that magnitude, then probably you will be fine to carry on for 5 hours after this meal. You will not feel any hunger or discomfort. So let us see now. Let's talk about what vitamins and minerals eggs have. What is in eggs? So when it comes to vitamins, first of all, there is vitamin A. Eggs are full of vitamin A, which is the vital vitamin for immune function, for skin health, and also for vision. Then you have vitamin D. I spoke about vitamin D in my video on 3 most important supplements. If you didn't, you should watch that video. Vitamin D is a pro-hormone, is simply essential for our health. Supports testosterone production, helps bone density, and also calcium absorption. So then you have vitamin B12, which is crucial for formation of red blood cells, and also supports central nervous system. Then you have vitamin B2, essential for cellular functions. Vitamin B5, which is involved in synthesis of coenzyme A. And then you have folate, which is important for cell growth and tissue repair. So you see how densely packed whole eggs are with vitamins. Now, when it comes to minerals, you have, for example, selenium is present in eggs, which is a very powerful antioxidant and supports thyroid functions and immunity. It helps convert T4 into T3, for example, which is very important. So lack of selenium can cause, obviously, unwanted consequences when it comes down to thyroxine T4 hormone conversion into T3, which is the active form of thyroid hormone. Then you have phosphorus, which is essential for bone health and bone density. Then you have iron. Iron is critical for absorption and transport of oxygen in the blood. And then you have zinc as well. So zinc is there to support testosterone, immune functions, and recovery. So when it comes to minerals, again, whole eggs are simply fully packed. You have selenium, you have phosphorus, you have iron, you have zinc, plus all these vitamins that I mentioned. And obviously this is apart from having super high quality protein and cholesterol in them, eggs are absolutely superfood. Then you have cottage cheese. So when it comes to vitamin content in cottage cheese, cottage cheese contains vitamin B12, vitamin B2, and also vitamin A, almost like these three like in eggs. And when it comes to minerals, cottage cheese contains calcium, phosphorus, sodium, selenium, and magnesium. So again, very, very dense food packed with vitamins and minerals. So these two in combination, they don't only give you give you lots of super quality protein, but they also give you a lot of minerals and vitamins. So they are almost like some super multivitamin and mineral tablets. So it's fantastic combination. Now, when it comes to macros, for example, in 5 whole eggs and 200 grams of cottage cheese, we are talking about 5 to 550 calories per this meal, which is not necessarily that important. But what is more important is that this meal will provide you with roughly around 50 to 55 grams of protein, around 35 to 40 grams of fat, and very little amount of carbs, maybe 5 to 8 grams of carbs. So in this meal, you will already hit a quite high amount of protein, which is absolutely necessary for muscle growth and also fat loss. Now, for people who are lactose intolerant and cannot eat cottage cheese, you see, I didn't forget about you guys, if you are, some of you who are listening to this lactose intolerant. So for you, I would subsidize cottage cheese with salmon. So that is perfectly high protein fish, no carbs, and full of other extremely healthy macronutrients. So salmon contains 20 to 25 grams of protein per 100 grams. So let's say if you have 100 grams of salmon, they're the equivalent of 200 grams of cottage cheese when it comes to protein. If you have 150 or 200, then your protein intake will jump even further. You will go to 80 grams of protein for breakfast, altogether with 5 eggs and let's say 200 grams of salmon. You're going to be hitting around 80 grams of protein, which is simply fantastic. Now, apart from protein, salmon contains very healthy fats, which are omega-3 fatty acids, very highly absorbable in the form of EPA, eicosanopentanoic acid, and DHA, which is docosahexaenoic acid. So these two fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, are highly absorbable, and they are very important because they're, first of all, they're anti-inflammatory. They improve insulin sensitivity, which is phenomenal, and they also support fat loss and recovery and boost your brain and heart health. So salmon is another superfood that you should be thinking about. So even if you can eat cottage cheese, you should sometimes alternate cottage cheese with salmon. Me, because I love cottage cheese, I most of the time eat cottage cheese, but also salmon occasionally. But you can play. But eggs are always there, always. For me, 5 eggs every morning. There is no breakfast for me without 5 eggs. Now, regarding the key micronutrients in salmon, we have to understand that salmon is also packed with macronutrients. And when it comes to, for example, vitamins, it's full of vitamin D, vitamin B12, niacin, which is B3, vitamin B6. Then you have, regarding minerals, you have selenium, you have potassium, you have phosphorus, you have magnesium, and in wild salmon, you have iodine. So again, absolutely phenomenal food. And just to recap, I believe that the best fat loss, muscle burning breakfast is ultimately whole eggs and cottage cheese, or whole eggs and salmon. Nothing else, no carbs involved. So if you want to continue burning fat during the morning hours after you have woken up, and allow your body enough protein, minerals, and vitamins, which are absolutely essential for muscle repair and muscle growth, I think that this combination of 2, or actually 3 superfoods will be your best answer. Now, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video. That helps algorithm push my channel higher up. And also send me your comments, because they help other people as well. They help our community. We develop discussion through comments, and we are getting them a lot. So this is fantastic, and thank you for that. If you didn't, please do subscribe to my channel, and that way you will be notified about every new video that comes. And I try to post 2 videos every week. And again, for people who are more interested in developing their knowledge further and expanding their horizons, I would wholeheartedly recommend my ebooks, which are available on my website, nashfittraining.com, in which I write in detail about weight training, muscle growth, fat loss, competitive bodybuilding, lifestyle change, and obviously nutrition. So please visit my website, and I hope you will find a lot of information there that will help you to progress further. Apart from that, on my website you can see my other services which I provide, and they may also benefit you. Services like telephone consultations, personalized training programs and nutritional programs, personal training online, and for people who live in London, personal training one-to-one. So thank you very much for watching this video and tuning to my podcast. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves.